Okay, so we're moving on to lesson 3 of English for this week. Yesterday we finished at the point where the curtains were parting, and then obviously we're moving on to the next bit. Okay, so this is the next image, moving on to this bit. Okay, so it says, poof, a cloud of purple smoke filled the stage, and there he was, Abdul Kazam. Sparks flew from his fingertips. Leon could smell the magic. Okay, so what do you think is happening at this point in the story? Okay, pause the video, have a little think about it, and then come back to me. Okay, so obviously the curtains parted, people are waiting for it to come on, and then all of a sudden this fantastic, the smoke filled the stage, and then they're all probably feeling a bit like, oh, what's going to happen? Excited, anticipating the show, and then all of a sudden this creature appears that they've never seen before. He looks magnificent, and it's the great Abdul Kazam. So we're going to have a little look at atmosphere the next couple of lessons and look at how the author creates an atmosphere. And an atmosphere is the way that it makes us feel that the surroundings are, that the maybe the setting, how people are feeling, what's going on. And authors are really good at doing that with words and phrases. Okay, so smoke filled the stage. Okay, so I want us to think about what that means and so this is creating the atmosphere. So, okay, so if you imagine that the smoke has filled the stage, what do you think the audience sitting there watching, how would they feel? They're obviously not aware. Some people may not have seen a circus before, have not experienced going to watch a show in that way. Some people might, and it might be completely different, but if smoke fills the stage, you're going to be thinking, what's going to happen next? Maybe feeling a bit nervous. I know I would be wondering if there was going to be some sort of bang that was going to shock me or something was going to frighten you. But you're mesmerised by what you can see in front of you. So they're all feeling excited but a bit apprehensive of what was going to happen next. And if the smoke's filling the screen, filling the stage, you can't see anything else. So it clouds what else you can see. Okay, so what do you imagine would happen when Abdul Kazam finally shows himself? So these people are waiting. They paid the money to come and see this circus show, and they've been excited waiting for it to happen. And then Abdul Kazam finally shows himself. So what do you think is going to happen? Well, those of you that thought of something like this, then you're right. The suspense would have built up, and then the audience would have gone wild. The noise probably would have, there might have been a gasp, or there might have been like people thinking about talking to each other, like very quietly mumbling. Then all of a sudden, when he appears, it's like, oh, wow, and the noise, they probably start clapping and cheering, and it would ripple through the tent. It would probably get louder and louder. Sparks flew from his fingertips. What does the author mean by that? What do you imagine? Well, he's a magician. So by saying sparks flew from his fingertips, it's basically saying that he's performing magic tricks and it's all coming from his hands. And we wouldn't see sparks actually coming, but it's almost insinuating, telling us that by doing that and his hands are moving in such a way that it's almost like sparks are flying from him, because everything magical is coming from him moving his hands and performing using his hands. And I love this phrase, Leon could smell the magic. Okay, what do you think that could mean? Well, you can't smell magic. We know that you can't smell magic, but what does that mean? It's almost like the tent is exposed to this great magician, and it's happening all around them, and it takes over the whole of their senses, and it's almost like it consumes them. The magic is just in the air. They're fixated on what is happening, and that's all around them, and therefore it's almost like it's all around them. They can smell it, they can feel it, they can taste it. Okay, so on the description of what you're doing in English this week, I've put a clip that I would like you to watch from the opening scene of a very famous film called The Greatest Showman. Okay, it just gives you a little bit of an insight into what a circus is like. They're not really like that anymore because we don't use live animals. We don't use animals at a circus. But it will just give you an idea of the buzz and the excitement, and give you an idea of a couple of things that the lights you might see, the sounds and things like that. So I just wanted to go and have a little look at that, and then once you've watched it, you can come back to me so I can show you what you're going to do today. Okay. So if you've just joined me after you've watched your clip, you will have thought about some, like, how the atmosphere was created. It's quite loud, it's bright, it's colourful, it's exciting, it's happy, it's fun, it's a nice experience. Okay, so today you've got this task sheet where you are going to imagine you are sat in the audience of the circus. Okay, and I want you to think about what you can hear, what you can see, what you can smell, and what you can feel. So thinking about being there, thinking about, if you want to watch that clip again, you can. I just want you to list as many things as you can here. Please try not to just list one word. Try and write it in a sentence. You know, I can hear the clapping of the audience. What can you see? You might see the acrobats swinging from the hoops above. Okay, so try and think about using some good vocabulary as well. And then tomorrow we're going to use this to do some writing. So make sure for next lesson you have got your plan ready for us to go through. And remember, the more you put into your plan, the easier it's going to be for you to write tomorrow. Okay. Good luck with your planning.